Hello, thank you so much for joining me in the lab today. Today we are doing the Exploring Creation with General Science Experiment 13.2, Stomach Acids and Antacids. And the procedure for this experiment is published in Exploring Creation with General Science by Wile and published by Apologia Educational Ministries. And the purpose of this experiment is to gain understanding of the properties of stomach acid as well as the function of antacids. The equipment and materials used in this procedure include Tums or some other antacid tablet, toilet bowl cleaner that contains hydrochloric acid, also called hydrogen chloride, as an ingredient, and the best kind is colorless. If you cannot get colorless, get a clear kind that has a light tint of color to it. Do not get the kind that clings to the bowl. So that's really hard to find sometimes. Instead, you can use very carefully a product called muriatic acid. It is found in hardware stores in the masonry section. Also, if you know anybody that owns a swimming pool, they will have this with their pool chemicals because it's used to adjust the pH of a swimming pool. And in order to make your own, you need to only add 1 teaspoon or 5 milliliters of this muriatic acid to 1 liter of water. So again, 5 milliliters or 1 teaspoon of muriatic acid to 1 liter of water. Always add the acid to the water, not the other way around. I remember A comes first in the alphabet, acid before water. So you have the water in your 1 liter container and then add the acid to the water. Again, you have to be super careful doing that. Muriatic acid is extremely caustic. It will burn your skin. It will burn your respiratory tract, your eyes. So you want to make sure you're using gloves and safety goggles and other safety precautions, and I highly recommend that you work with an adult who knows what they're doing if you're going to make your own. And again, that's just an alternative to toilet bowl cleaner if you're not able to find the type that is specified in the procedure. Okay, then you're also going to need your red or purple cabbage, and you just need a few leaves. If you purchase bagged salad that has that shredded purple cabbage in it, then you can just pick out whatever is in that and use that rather than buying a whole cabbage. A small glass, like a juice glass or a beaker. We're going to be using a teaspoon, a spoon for stirring, a saucepan, and the materials list does not say a stirring spoon for your pan, but I recommend a cooking type of spoon for that. A measuring cup, distilled water, a stove that I don't have pictured here, and then, of course, eye protection, such as goggles or safety glasses. And I would also add you need to have a pair of gloves for this because working with the hydrochloric acid from the toilet bowl cleaner or from the acid mixture that you're going to make, you'll definitely want gloves to protect your hands. So the first thing that we're going to do is then put on our eye protection and put on our gloves. And then we are going to proceed with making the same indicator solution that we've made previously, for example, in experiment 12.2. And you want to start by rinsing the saucepan, the measuring cup, and the stirring spoons, and the small glass with the distilled water. So all of these items are going to be rinsed with the distilled water, and that's to get out any impurities that could affect the pH of our solution. Remember, we're making that red cabbage solution that contains a pigment called anthocyanin, and it is very sensitive to pH. which is precisely why we use it. Okay, so we're going to rinse those. I'm going to rinse and dump in the sink here. And again with these items. Okay. And the next step of the procedure tells us to place the several leaves of red cabbage into the saucepan and add 2 cups of distilled water. Okay, and we're putting in our red cabbage and putting this on the stove to boil. It tells us to go ahead and add that purple cabbage to the pot in the pan. Okay, then we're going to put that saucepan on the stove and heat it until the water boils. Now here I find it easier to use a spoon, like a cooking spoon, and to stir it around the pot. Okay, so step 4 tells us to turn off the heat and allow our pan to cool for a while. Step 5, add 1 teaspoon of toilet bowl cleaner to the small glass. Be careful when handling the toilet bowl cleaner. If you get it on your hands, immediately rinse them with lots of water. Toilet bowl cleaner will burn your skin. Well, I definitely recommend wearing gloves so you don't have to really worry about that. And here I have made that solution I spoke of with the muriatic acid and water, again taking great care so that I did not burn my skin or my respiratory tract or get it in my eyes or anything like that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and measure the 1 teaspoon of that into the beaker. And I'm going to put the teaspoon directly into the sink so I don't contaminate my countertop there with an acid. Okay. Now, once the saucepan and its contents have cooled somewhat, fill the measuring cup with the cabbage water. Be careful, it could still be very hot. And if you get a few cabbage leaves in the measuring cup, use the stirring spoon to remove them. I'm going to go ahead and pour that in there. And it should be this nice purple color. That's the color that we want the indicator solution to be at. I'm going to lay down some paper towel so you can see that color better. Okay. Now it says pour the cup of cabbage water into the small glass. Use the spoon to stir the contents so the teaspoon of toilet bowl cleaner mixes with the cabbage water. Okay, now you've used this cabbage water before, so before I do that, think what color do you think the indicator solution will turn? If we know that this has hydrochloric acid in it, what color do you think the indicator solution will turn? So I'm just going to put about 100 milliliters in here. And there we go. And hopefully you remember that this red cabbage pH indicator solution will turn pink in the presence of an acid. Okay, so there we have it. And it says in step 7, the color of the content should be pink or red. If not, the color of your toilet bowl cleaner is too strong and you need to try a different kind of toilet bowl cleaner. Now, the stronger the acid, the more red the indicator solution would turn. So that just gives you an idea of why it says pink or red. Okay, step 8 says add an antacid tablet to the small glass. Try to use a white one. Okay, and it says in step 9, note what happens when the tablet hits the cabbage water toilet bowl cleaner mixture. Okay, so make sure you have made your hypothesis as to what you think will happen. And again, you need white ones because we are doing a color changing process here. So if you have the colored antacids, it's going to interfere with your results. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and gently place that in order to prevent splashing. I'm going to go ahead and set it in with a spoon. Okay. I'm going to move that so you can see it. Not a whole lot happening yet. And then the procedural step number 10 says after you've watched it for a few moments, start stirring it. You want the tablet to completely disappear. This may take a little while, and you can speed up the process by using the spoon to cut up and crush the tablet. And we're supposed to note any color change that occurs. It almost has a slight purplish hue around the edge of the tablet. You kind of glimpse that, just looking at the edge of the tablet. And that tablet is starting to dissolve. We're seeing some bits of the tablet coming off. And I'm going to go ahead and stir that more. Now this is an antacid, and so by the name, you should be trying to think of what is going to happen here. Starting to see a color change in our indicator solution. And it's going from that really pretty pink color to a really pretty lavender color. Getting more purple. More purple. It's also getting cloudy, obviously, because we have the white antacid tablet bits dissolving. Still has some work to do there. I'm going to put it down so I can crush up that tablet in here. But we are back to that purple color, although again it's milky, showing that we have now neutralized that solution. We become back to that more purple neutral color, indicating a neutral pH. So our antacid worked. We have gotten rid of the acid that was in our stomach there. So again, we're learning about the digestive system, And your stomach has hydrochloric acid in it. That's part of the digestion process, how it digests the food. But sometimes you get just too much acid going on in your stomach and it becomes very uncomfortable, which is why people will take antacid, which is calcium carbonate in this case, and it has now neutralized that acid. So a person who takes an antacid tablet won't be quite so uncomfortable. Okay, go ahead and take a moment to write down the results that you observed there. Now, step 12 says, once the tablet is gone, note the color. If you do not see purple or blue, add another tablet and continue to stir. Your goal is to get the solution to be purple or blue, which we have successfully done here. Step 13 says, once you get to the purple or blue color, add another teaspoon of the toilet bowl cleaner. And then what happens? So what do you think is going to happen when we add another teaspoon of that toilet bowl cleaner? What is your hypothesis? All right, well, let's go ahead and see what happens here. The toilet bowl cleaner. And it has become more pink, but still not super pink. Why do you think that is? Yep, that antacid tablet is still working in there. Now, this is a little off book. It's not part of the procedure, but I'm going to add in another teaspoon. See what happens. You can see when I first drop it in, it makes it very pink, right where I drop it. As I stir it, that antacid tablet that is in there is neutralizing it. Let's add another one. Again, it's pink right where I've added it, but we have enough antacid still in there with that one first tablet that it's still neutralizing it, and it's staying purple. Okay, make sure you have recorded all of your observations in your results section, and don't forget to write up your discussion and conclusion and reference on your laboratory journal. Because you've been handling acids, take care to clean up, pouring it down the sink. Make sure you have your gloves on and your eye protection even while you're cleaning up. And then carefully remove your gloves so that you don't get any splashed acid on your skin as you're removing them. A safe way to remove your gloves is take one gloved hand and you're going to remove the one glove. Okay, again, we're not touching anything that has been contaminated with acid. And then take this clean hand, tucking up underneath of your other glove, and then bringing it over the top, kind of turning it sort of inside out. And then we can safely dispose of the gloves in the trash can. But remember to clean up your glassware and your solutions before you do remove those gloves. Thank you so much for joining me in the laboratory today. It was great to have you here, and we'll see you next time.